This is the Valley Today.
We are slowly out of the deep freeze today. I know if you're going outside this morning, it's still cold out there. However, warmer than we have been the last couple of days. So that's a big plus there. However, we do have the possibility of a big snowmaker on the way.
Yeah, absolutely. We're hopping right on over to meteorologist Lisa Green, who's keeping an eye on all of this for us. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, we were hinting at it the last couple of days, looking ahead to next week. And now it's looking more and more likely that we've got that next big winter system setting its sights on us in the valley. So we have a first alert weather day for 2 days next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. A winter storm is possible. Now, right now, track is going to be a little bit in question and timing, but somewhere in the Midwest, including the upper Midwest, we could be hit by some heavy snow and wind. It's a Colorado low type system, and we know those pack a punch with wind and snow and can tend to shut things down when they're on the stronger side. So we're going to keep a close eye on that coming up. Just keep in mind that this is Tuesday and Wednesday, so it's a little ways away, and some changes likely will happen with the timing and the track a little bit with some shifts going on in our long range forecast models, but it is looking pretty consistent in our models as well. What's also consistent is that clear sky around the valley here this morning. Nice and bright, full moon. This is our live view right now from our Corwin cam at the station here in South Fargo. There's the full moon, but you can also see Mars right there next to it. Kind of a cool view as you're starting off your morning, as you're sitting in your car waiting for it to warm up. Make sure you take a look. It'll be on that western, northwestern horizon as it's beginning to set here this morning. Here's a look at our current temperatures. Not so bad, but still cold out there. 6 degrees in Fargo. Grand Forks is at 2. We do have a couple of places below 0. Jamestown, one of them at 2 below, but no 20s and 30s below like we saw yesterday. Devil's Lake so much better off at 5 degrees. It's a more than 30-degree difference right now. And Detroit Lake's at 3 degrees. A look at your radar and satellite map. Quiet in the valley and beyond. Great start to the day as far as not dealing with any snow. Last 2 days we've had to track snow showers in the valley for your morning drive. Now we won't be dealing with that today. Just lots of sun coming our way once it is up, which by the way, not until 8 a.m. But we're getting very close to that winter solstice later this month, and that means we'll be eventually gaining some daylight. There's a little bit of brightness to your forecast this morning, along with warmer temperatures, about 20 for your high today. So this is just the start. We'll warm things up more heading toward the weekend. Details on that and more on that pending winter storm too coming your way in just a couple of minutes.
All right, until we get more daylight, we'll just focus on that moonlight.
Yes, that's been so nice and bright here the last couple of days.
I agree.
It's good to have some clear skies to take that in.
Enjoy that. Thank you, Lisa. 6:03 right now. Sick days are on the rise in the FM schools. 628 Fargo students were out sick just on Monday.
Tough times. That's more than double the amount from the same time last year, which was just 279. In Moorhead, the number was 620 compared with 450 1 year ago. And 372 students were out Monday in West Fargo. Health experts are seeing an influx of kids going to hospitals with respiratory infections like RSV, the flu, and COVID-19.
Well, it's not uncommon to see a peak in respiratory infections this time of the year. Medical professionals say it is happening a bit earlier in the season.
If the influenza cases rise as exponentially as they are doing right now, then it's easy for hospitals and ERs and clinics to get overwhelmed. We can flex a little bit, but if cases rise as they continue to rise for weeks on end, as they have been rising over the last couple of weeks, that gives us a pause, and we need to rethink our strategy.
The fact that RSV, influenza, and COVID-19 share similar symptoms is making this season a bit tougher as well for parents to treat their children. Now, doctors say the only way to tell the difference is through testing, which they do recommend in order to stop your child's virus from potentially getting worse.
It's also suggested that you get a flu shot and the COVID-19 booster shot. 9 people now in custody accused in a human smuggling case on the valley's northern border with Canada. They were arrested Friday night near a cemetery in Nitchie, North Dakota.
Court documents say they're all from Mexico and they're charged with improper entry into the country. 2 of the men are also charged with conspiracy to transport illegal aliens and re-entry of a removed alien. A North Dakota man is headed to trial for murder in the death of an 18-year-old. He's Kaylor Ellingson. 41-year-old Shannon Brandt is accused of running over Ellingson after a street dance in McHenry, North Dakota.
Brandt says he was threatened by Ellingson, who he believes was part of a Republican extremist group. Brandt entered a not guilty plea yesterday, and the judge reduced his bail by half, down to $500,000. Family members of a man who died in the Cass County Jail are now suing in federal court, accusing the county of wrongful death. Sheriff Jesse Johnner, Essentia Health, and some county and hospital employees are also included in that lawsuit. The family says 41-year-old Luke Leducer was denied medical care that could have saved his life.
Leducer called 911 2 years ago and said that he was suicidal. Officers took him to Essentia for care, but he was released and then booked on an outstanding warrant. Leducer then bled to death in his jail cell 17 hours after his initial call for help. The family's lawsuit claims the hospital did not check his vital signs or his mental health before clearing him to go to jail. They claim that if they had, it would have been clear that he needed some serious medical treatment.
A Minnesota state trooper now being credited with saving the life of a missing woman who suffers with dementia. Detroit Lakes Police broadcast information about that missing woman yesterday over police radio. And without even being asked, state trooper Mike Lundeen showed up to help search. Lundeen says he almost walked away from a building he was checking out when he noticed some footprints in an area that didn't seem right.
The tracks went out onto the lake and he eventually found this woman lying in the riprap shoreline. He huddled with her until an ambulance arrived. DL police say without Lundeen's keen eye and spot-on hunch, the woman might not have been found in time to prevent serious injury or death. Meanwhile, more than 12 hours after first going missing, an 88-year-old Fargo man spent the night back at home after being found early yesterday morning in Minnesota Lakes Country.
A 1 a.m. alert about Alfred Von Bank's disappearance woke up many in the metro area, prompting Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley to look into what goes into cases like this to make sure that the missing are located.
When the missing person report came across Fargo Police's desk Tuesday, it was a delayed report, meaning 88-year-old Alfred Von Bank had already been gone for a few hours.
He leaves in a vehicle. He could be in the cities in 4 hours, right?
So officers like Jessica White hit the ground running, flagging other agencies near and far to be on the lookout and pushing this alert on social media.
More times than none, information that we get from the public, it just adds to our resources.
When people get these alerts, it's always nice to know that the community is out there and with so many different sets of eyes.
Since Von Bank was believed to be in a car, White says drones, canines, and foot search teams weren't assembled, but she says those resources were at their fingertips if needed. White says the department applied for a silver alert to be sent out by the state, but says that process does take some time, saying thankfully Von Bank was found in Becker County before that alert was pushed out.
I was extremely relieved when I came to work today and found out that he was found safe.
While happy endings aren't always the case, law enforcement say when it comes to cases like this, especially in such extreme temperatures, it's all hands on deck to try to make sure loved ones are returned safe and sound. Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
If your loved one goes missing, it's important to tell officers about that person's daily routines and who the person spends time with. They also want an updated photo and a description of what they were last wearing.
Still to come right here on the Valley today, a huge and tiny all at the same time gift to look forward to for one Grand Forks woman battling terminal cancer.
Also ahead this morning, Lisa Green is in with a check of the forecast. Cold out there, but hey, look at that moon right now. That should maybe brighten up your spirits a little bit. Lisa Green lets us know what to expect on this Thursday.